know that's a hard thing to hear, but there are all kinds of animals who are not asking to be rescued, who are being called back into non-physical because that's what's calling them in the strongest way. And humans just don't understand that, because you don't understand that relative to your own experience either. Humans want to stop death at all costs. Humans want to accept death as something that is wrong instead of death as something that is an ongoing experience. It's life and more 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 life, you see. We are not happy about mistreatment of animals, and we are certainly not happy about anyone who's abusing anyone. And there are all kinds of abuses that are going on all over the place. But we promise you, no one abuses who doesn't feel abused. And pushing against abuse only causes more abuse to come. You cannot suffer those suffering into wellness. You can't get sick enough to help sick become well, and you can't get poor enough to help poor become prosperous, and you can't feel bad enough to help someone who feels bad feel good. You got to get on the other end of that. You've got to be a vibrational vessel through which that energy that uplifts flows. But humans, in the attitude of service, really incorrectly believe that service means being as distressed as you are about what's bothering you. That probably is the most accurate definition that humans mean. They might not say it in such startling words, but you just don't want to be too happy around an unhappy person. It makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. And so people do tend to sort of hold back from their joy. You've sort of learned it a little bit. Your parents taught you. I'm not happy, and I blame you right now for my unhappiness. So you need to modify your behavior in order to make me happy. So kids learn service early on, but they learn it wrong. They come to believe that through my behavior, I can perform enough behavior that can keep this person who's focused upon me happy. I can stand on my head in enough different ways to keep this going well, but you can't. You can only stand on your vibrational head in enough different ways to keep you in tune with who you really are. And when you do, one who's connected to the stream is more powerful than millions who are not, you see. You can't control what is, because what is old news. What's manifesting is as a result of vibrations you've vibrated before. But how you feel is current, and the thought you think is current. That was then, and this is now. And we mean that about 5 minutes ago, too. We mean that about everything that has happened before the now focus. That the now focus is the only thing that really matters. And you want to establish consciously and deliberately and effectively a relationship between you and your inner being. And we mean this in the most prophetic and spiritual and profound way. Let the chips fall where they may. Just because I have access to everything that I need right here and now, here and now, here and now. All the air I need, all the food I need, all the clarity I need, all the dollars I need, all the friends I need, all the conversation I need, all the work I need, all the things that I need to focus upon. Whatever I'm wanting to make this a meaningful, engaged moment. You are offering vibration whether you know that you are or not. That's what we call creation by default. But when you offer a vibration deliberately, which is to say when you think a thought deliberately, that's what we call deliberate creation. When you direct your thoughts based upon how they feel, now you can control momentum. If you say, I want to feel good, and I would like this amount of money, and I would like this relationship, even with this person, and I would like this bodily condition, and I would like to live in this house. In other words, you've been putting all of those things in your vortex. So as you say, I seek these things, and I believe that these things are underway. Now you encourage the momentum. You don't slow it. When you say, things are working out for me, you encourage the momentum. When you say, I'm living a good life, you encourage the momentum. When you say, look at that beautiful sunset, or look at that beautiful child, or look at that beautiful healthy animal, you encourage that momentum. When you say, look at that poor sick animal, you thwart the momentum. When you say, I don't have enough money, you thwart the momentum. You slow it down. And you can tell when you're doing the thwarting because you feel a diminishment in your solar plexus. Your emotions let you know. So if we can convince you that feeling good allows the momentum, allows the natural momentum. Now, how did the momentum get started? You knew what you didn't want, you knew what you did want. That you sent off a rocket of desire, momentum. What continued the momentum? We know what you want, we agree with it, we stand there focusing upon it, we add to the momentum of it. The momentum of well-being is the most powerful force in the universe. In fact, it is the only force in the universe. There is no source of darkness, there is only a source of light. But when the light is disallowed, then you find yourself in darkness. You don't look for the dark switch when you come into a room. You can turn a resistor which will resist the light. So there is no contradictory momentum. There is no contradictory momentum to what you are wanting. There is just the slowing of the natural momentum by offering a contradictory thought. Now, let's approach that in terms of physics, because that sounds different than what we just said. We said the momentum this way, or there's momentum this way. Well, every thought that you think is momentum. So if you are thinking a thought about your inappropriateness, or if you're thinking a thought about your misfortune, or if you're thinking a thought about someone else's misfortune, then that thought has a vibration, and that thought begins to gather other thoughts to it. So Abraham, that sounds like there can be a momentum to unwanted things, as there can be a momentum to wanted things. We acknowledge that, but we want you to get these momentums into proper perspective. This source energy from which you come is a momentum and a force that is indescribable in relationship to the puny momentum that you can get going as you worry about unwanted things. In other words, when you worry about something unwanted, all you do is put a stick in your own spokes and slow your own momentum, but you don't keep the earth from spinning in its orbit. You don't keep the plants from continuing to re-nurture. You don't keep babies from continuing to be born. You don't stop the well-being. You just prevent your participation temporarily in the well-being, you see. So when we talk about momentum, we want you to begin to feel this huge momentum of well-being. And when you try just a little bit, that stream will sweep you and it will carry you. And you know it. You find yourself in these moments where you've been in high good humor for a while. Sometimes it's the influence of visiting with a friend. Sometimes it's because you've been in a group environment. Sometimes it's because you've sat in a gathering like this and you've listened to us speak to you of the perfection of that which you are. And as you get that sort of momentum going, and it's active in your vibration for just a little while, meaning the other is not active in your vibration for just a little while, you see the evidence of that positive momentum, you see. She discovered to her amazement that there are 19 buildings on the Abraham Hicks property. And so for a moment this morning, she said to Jerry, "What were you thinking?" What were you thinking? And then she remembered what he was thinking. This is fun. And this is employment for Mike and his crew. And this is something to give my attention to. And this is something that fills in. This is an exercise of understanding creation. This is an opportunity to focus and flow and watch what happens. This is an opportunity to watch manifestations fill in around thought. This is what we have been born to do. We are born to think and watch the actualization that comes in around our thought. This is not just the basis of economy. This is the basis of life experience. This is the reason that we exist.